like definitely February. Like we didn't even do the calendar for January last month. It's not like February 2nd or 3rd, it's February 19th. I think having an awareness around how things are going is a lot more tiring than I remember it being. I don't fully understand why it's so hard for me to just know how much I'm pulling or know how often I'm pulling, but it is. That's something I do know. My journey to a low pull year isn't going the way I thought it was going to be, but what else is new, right? How's my pulling gone down in the last 2 months? We're gonna get into it, don't worry. This is not just a calendar changing video. I will say that if tracking something that you want to stop feels hard for you, I feel like that is very much a universal experience and that I shouldn't have been surprised. I don't know why it would be different this time as opposed to the last time I tried to track my pulling. Does anyone think this is related to how reluctant I am to check my screen time on my phone? I did a poll in our BFRB friends group chat because I was curious if anyone thinks that like their BFRB is more addicting or scrolling endlessly on their phone is more addicting. So far, everyone has said the phone is worse than a BFRB. So that got me thinking, why am I trying to fix this compulsive hair pulling issue when like the real bad guy of this situation seems to be my like raging phone addiction? I think my phone addiction is worse than my BFRB situation in terms of severity. But am I more willing to look at my hair pulling patterns than I am to look at my screen time? That's kind of a hard question to answer, to be honest. I'm actually not really sure. I kind of feel like both of them are so bad that I just don't really want to know how bad it really is. Because then if I know how bad it really is, then I feel compelled to have to do something about it. But at this point in time, if I don't know how bad it is, I don't feel the need to like change anything. I've been tracking my hair pulling, but probably not as well as I should have been, because now we're here and I have this many days of hair pulling tracked. And that bothers me because it's so like, it's not like representative of any, but I don't know, maybe it's like hard to be representative. One of the things I've done to try to get myself to stay accountable on this is that I have a Google Calendar reminder every day that reminds me to fill out my trick Q&A. It's got a link to the Google form that I created and have revised a couple times so that when I open it, you get straight to my low pull year. So it's got like questions that I think have been helpful and relevant so far. Some drop-down menus to make the decision process a little bit easier as I'm filling it out. The goal is that this should take less than a couple of minutes to do every day. Clearly that doesn't stop me from not doing it every day. So let's fill it out together. Don't forget, how many hairs did you pull today? That's scalp, brows, lashes, body. And this is the part that's hard for me because my recollection's kind of bad. And I kind of think I know I should be doing this probably the night of that day, so that everything is like fresh in my mind and I'm not like blurring it together, but I've skipped so many days in the past that I don't know if that's helpful at this point. So I'm going to select that I pulled probably 10 to 20 hairs yesterday. Yesterday was a pretty like low pull day. It was my first day back to work after the long weekend. So I think the pulling was like a 1 out of 5. Pretty good. Also try not to get too attached to like biasly only filling this form in when I'm having good days, because I notice that. I don't know if this is something other people notice, but if I'm having like a really tough trick day, there's always a part of me that's like, well, you don't have to log that one. Which I know defeats the purpose of this, and I am my greatest worst enemy in this research project. The hairs that I've been aiming for lately are these like light colored or partially light colored ones, like the longer hairs that if I see them just like reflecting light the wrong way, I think they gotta go. And that's becoming problematic because I actually have quite a lot of those types of hairs. Just takes me a minute to notice them. I was pulling mostly from the top of my head, like both sides of my part here, kind of towards the front, and then behind the ears, always. I was pulling mostly in bed yesterday, mostly in the morning, leading up to when I had to leave for work. I have two questions kind of qualitatively capturing like the hair. So one is, how do you feel about the look of your hair today? And the other one was, how do you feel about the concept of your hair today? And for me, that's important to distinguish. Like, because sometimes my hair can look really good, but like I feel like I'm bald. And then sometimes my hair can, you know, be really oily, or like I really wish I styled it, or my hair looks really flat, but conceptually I like feel good and I feel like confident about myself and my hair. So that's why those two questions are important. Those have been there since the beginning. I'd say yesterday I thought my hair looked good. It's like getting longer. I kind of need a trim. I notice it's getting kind of dry at the end, so I will put that I felt a 4. And then hair as a concept, I'd say yesterday also felt very good. Good in a sense that I didn't even notice my hair yesterday. I feel like I barely even thought about it. I will put a 4 for the concept of hair as well. This question is, what did the pulling help with? Because I always believe that the BFRB is like a signal, like a big red flag to my brain. Something's wrong, and I know that the thing that helped me yesterday was kind of calming down and like processing this like anticipation of going back to work after the long weekend. I'm always concerned that like, I don't know, I'm gonna have like a dopamine crash, or like something's gonna just go wrong, but I don't think that's a unique experience. And then I have this list of low pull things that I did today, and these are things that like kind of happen semi-regularly, so I just check them off whenever I do them. And then I have a question at the end of just like, what the heck is going on? What are 2 to 3 thoughts you had about your hair or life in general? Yay! Maybe I should fill this out on camera more often and then I'll do it more. That being said, let's go take a look at the data I have collected so far. So I started tracking on December 18th, 2024. Since then, it's been roughly 89 days. Since then, I've tracked 28 responses in my low pull tracker. After I crunch the numbers, that means I've tracked my pulling for like 30%, give or take, of the last few months. So even though that isn't like super accurate, I think some information is better than none. So I guess I'll take that. There are some things that surprised me on here. For my question, how intense was the pulling today? And that goes from a range of 0 to 5. I kind of thought there would be more like 3, 4, 5s. Most of the time, my pulling is like 1 and 2. About 40% of the days that I've tracked have been a level 1 intensity of pulling. And again, that's not to say that that's completely representative, but I don't know, I thought that was interesting. Out of the hairs I was looking for, the thick short hairs with like the tips of the hair are white, that is what I pull the most consistently, and that's the hair that usually grows like around my ears back here. Then we have 2 that are tied for second place, so that's thin hairs with a big cuticle that also grow back here, and then light colored, partially light colored thin hairs that grow kind of from the top of my head here. That's actually why I have this hair like clipped away, because I'm trying to not touch it as much, especially because it's such a visible area. I mostly pull either at my computer desk or in my bed, but it really is that damn computer. It really is that damn computer. And I imagine while I'm in bed, I'm on my phone, so it really also is that damn phone. Or for 40% of the days, most of my pulling happened in the morning, but very closely behind is also in the afternoon, so I imagine those are the days I'm like working at my computer for a long time. I very seldomly pull all night, and I do have an option on this pie chart that says all day baby, and I did have one day where I just pulled all day baby. Now we're getting into, how do you feel about the look of your hair today? Out of the 28 responses, the average rating of those 28 days that I tracked, on average, I feel like my hair looks like a 3.93 out of 5, which I'm really happy to hear. I think like you just scroll back a couple of years on my life, this number would be a lot lower. I think part of it is because I've been learning how to style my hair, so I feel like I have more control about my hair. I feel a stronger sense of like agency. Like if I don't like how my hair looks, if I have like a 1 or a 2 day, I have the tools that I need and I have the skills that I need to make my hair look different and make my hair, I don't know, look the way I want it to look. And in the past 28 days, how I feel about my hair conceptually is at a 4.11 out of 5. So that means just, you know, very, very marginally, but that means I like my hair as a concept more often than I like how it looks. And I think that's how I want to keep it going. That's kind of what I was aiming for. Like that's, you know, I don't know, maybe this is like bias, the fact that I'm making the freaking study and then I'm the participant in the study. How I feel about my hair is more important to me than how my hair looks. Now let's get into a really quick rapid fire of kind of just random reasons I pulled my hair in the past 28 days. My scalp felt super loose, restlessness, just bored at work, got vaccinated so my arm was sore, procrastination guilt. I keep seeing so many light ends on my hair. I need to figure out if this is normal or not. First day back to work and I felt sick. Slept late, so I was decompressing. I pulled while editing videos, procrastinated with work. I felt a pimple in my scalp. I'm nervous about this content creator stuff not working out. I pulled while trying to script a video. I was deciding what to do next at my part-time job. I stayed up kind of late, but at least it's not until 2 a.m. Anticipation of going back to work after the long weekend. I feel like I am running out of time and have a decision paralysis vibe. So I think that's it. Even though I only tracked 28 out of the 90-ish days, just going through that list really hit me that, you know, maybe this operation I'm running is a little more accurate and a little more telling than I realized. I don't know what's gonna happen. What do we want to do for the next video, guys? Like, I'm still gonna be inconsistently updating my tracker. I think that's still really interesting to me. I'm still gonna be doing support meetings every 2 weeks, so those are always free and they're on Zoom, so please come along and join us. You can always join us in the Instagram group chat, and I am posting on Instagram as well. I do really appreciate everyone who has subscribed either recently or in the past when I was making trichotillomania videos before. It means a lot that there are people who are interested in learning about trich and hearing about it, and whether it's affecting you personally or you know someone in your life who's living with it, it's always going to be important for me to talk about, so you're always going to see me here. I guess we can do a quick hair check. I'm just going to take my little clippy down. The area that I was pulling is like, there's like my part, which I do pull from, and then if you just kind of go like slightly to the side, it's like here. These are the spots I am pulling. You know, my hair is getting longer, so that's cool. I wish I had like a spinny thing, but that's it. That's what my hair is looking like. You can kind of see the bald spots on the side, as usual. You guys know what's going on. And this part of my hair, this like temple area, that part's going down too. But it's okay. Again, conceptually, I'm happy with where my hair is, which, I don't know, doesn't make for good YouTube, it doesn't make for good drama, but I also think it's nice to hear that people can be happy and comfortable with the hair, with where it's at. I'm grateful that I can meet my hair where it's at, as opposed to just endlessly chasing this like unattainable standard that is maybe realistic for other people, isn't realistic to me. I never want to try to be pull free ever again. I think that just isn't something that interests me anymore. But if I end up pulling my hair out for the rest of my life, I think I will find a way to manage. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video.